what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back in one of my special filming locations because we're about to be attacked by crows, but it's for a very good reason. This vehicle right here, this is the updated, changed up, refresh 2023 Chevrolet Traverse, and guess what? We got an RS trim and all-wheel drive. But before we get into this mid-size 3-row SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Chevrolet, they have followed the direction of many other brands when it comes to beefing up their lineup with SUVs. They got big ones, small ones, and little teeny tiny ones. Well, guess what? The Traverse, like I said, is a mid-size. So what does that mean? It means it's larger than an Equinox, but smaller than a Tahoe or definitely a Suburban. Now, for 2023, Chevrolet wanted to bring some changes. They also wanted to bring some upscale fit and finish to the interior. So what I want to find out is, lots of mid-size SUVs to buy. There is that one, though, that seems to be selling no matter what's going on in the world, and that SUV is the Kia Telluride. So let's go ahead, let's find out what's unique about the Traverse for 2023 and see if you should buy this RS trim over a Kia Telluride. Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the color. I'm loving this particular color with the RS trim because when you go RS, you're gonna get some blacked out appearance when it comes to the exterior and also the interior. Now, at the front of the business, this is where we start to see those changes and the updates. So to kind of bring it into alignment with the rest of their SUVs, we got that split lighting element of a front fascia. So up front, we got our LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals, in a new headlight housing. Coming down, we got, of course, body color, and then we're gonna have our LED projector beam headlight on that lower portion. Let me know if you're digging this. It does, like I said, kind of line up nicely with the Blazer, with the Equinox, with the Trailblazer, so on and so forth. Now, in this lower section, we do have these 3 horizontal lines. I wish they would have made this a corner air curtain. I think that would be a nice thing to have some air kind of flow through up and around. So I'm gonna give it a half a zonk because I like the way it looks. I just wish that there was that functional aspect of it. Now, there is some bright, shiny chrome, which this would have been a perfect area to make it dark chrome because we have the RS trim, but from a styling standpoint, they definitely have progressed forward with the Traverse. Now, as we come across that large gloss black grille, this is where we start to see some of the RS specialness. Of course, you're gonna get an RS badge, and Chevrolet does a great job with their badging. RS, I know you think it stands for really special. It doesn't. It actually stands for Rally Sport. And Rally Sport, even going back to the 1960s, has always been a trim when it comes to appearance. SS means extra performance. RS is an appearance package and definitely bringing some looks to this Traverse. So you're gonna have your gloss black. I like the way they brought these 2 horizontal dark chrome bars. So down below in those corners, they could have had the dark chrome. They did bring it up top, which is nice. You got your blacked out Chevy bow tie. And I like the way that they hid the forward-facing camera. Very, very clean on the aggressive looking front fascia and grille. Lower our way down, you do have functionality in the center here. And I kind of like the way there's like this V formation. Nice peak that kind of goes in alignment all the way up to the hood. And with it being flat black, you're gonna be able to take a better beating with this material rather than if it was all gloss black. Now, as we kind of jump up to the hood, I do like the way it kind of just waterfalls very clean into the top of the grille area. You got these nice curved boomerang shapes on each corner, and then you have that line that rises up and just goes towards the windshield. Actually looking very sporty. It does live up to the Rally Sport name, but you can see that dark chrome. Man, it would have looked really good in those lower corners. Now, as we come around the bend, we got all new wheels and tires. And on our RS, we have this multi-spoke gunmetal metallic gray wheel, 20-inch wheel now on the Traverse. This particular one with the multi-spoke design really stands out super well. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this? 255 on the width. Nice, meaty 55 series sidewall. And remember, Traverses are front-wheel drive. Our particular one has all-wheel drive. So front-wheel drive based, sends power to the rear wheels through an actual drive shaft to the rear differential. The one thing I wish they would have painted all of this fender opening. Beautiful color, would have matched nicely, but I guess the good news is it does go well with the flat black at the front end of the business with it going around the fender opening. But definitely the wheels with this color, spot on the money. Now, as we come down the side, you are gonna get color matched on the mirror caps. We do have 360-degree cameras. I'm sure you can hear those crows just squawking away. I feel like they're gonna attack me, but we'll see. Fingers crossed, they don't. Traverse badge, it's a little high. I was hoping that they would bring it down a little bit lower, but I see what they did. The belt line here, they actually brought the Traverse name to match up with that line. So that's why they have it in the center there. You are gonna get flat black along the bottom. Like I said, matches well with what's at the front. We got flat black raised roof rails. There's the Traverse as it's going down a bumpy road. That's what it would look like. Color matched on the door handles. Gloss black for the trim because we have the sporty of the bunch. And then working our way towards the rear, power's going down to the rear wheels and tires through that all-wheel drive. They do a great job with the quarter window, especially the way that they blend it seamless right into the gloss black arrow on the lift gate. It almost makes it look like one massive piece of glass. And then coming around the back, just like up front, they redid the lighting, and look what they did. It looks really good. Very modern, very sleek. LED, of course, just like up front. You do have a stubby to a medium size roof spoiler, color matched shark antenna. Would have been nice to get this bad boy tucked underneath there. Would have really cleaned it up. But of course, we're gonna get the dark chrome finish. Our Chevrolet blacked out bow tie. Remember, going all the way back to Louis Chevrolet. And if you notice, extra cameras, we got a digital rear view mirror, and they give you a washer for your backup camera. Clean Traverse badging with the all-wheel drive, and I like the way it's all blacked out. We got an RS badge, let the people behind you know not to mess with you when it comes to style at the car show. You got the RS, the Rally Sport. And then my favorite part, check out the exhaust. They look like they're right off of a Camaro SS. Stainless steel, that trumpet design with the flared out opening, nice slash cut. We do have a cover here because you can tow with your Traverse. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our RS. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Here's the good news. You're still getting naturally aspirated V6 horsepower, just like the Kia Telluride. The challenge is not the greatest looking engine cover. I would like a little bit of color, maybe an RS badge, maybe anything besides what we have here. So would be nice to have a little bit more, but what do we got underneath that cover? We have a 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6, 310 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And the great news is the Traverse is one of the quickest 3-row midsize SUVs in this segment, 0 to 60. 0 to 60, 6.5 seconds. You compare that to a Telluride is a little over 7 seconds. Top speed, 130 miles per hour. You could tow up to 5,000 pounds. MPGs, 17 in the city, 25 on the highway. And the car weighs 4,680 pounds. So nice to have that combination of the naturally aspirated V6. Why don't we go ahead, let's fire up our RS and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this Chevrolet Traverse RS with all-wheel drive. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need a mid-size truck or an SUV. I keep pumping out kids. I don't know where to put them when I go to drive around. I need that third row, but I'm not ready to go big suburban yet. I don't have that many kids yet. How much is this Traverse? Very good question. The way that this one is optioned, being an RS, being all-wheel drive, you're looking at MSRP right around $46,500. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. Very, very clean style. Now, the one thing that is a zonk is that it's hard plastic up top, but everything else is soft touch material. I do like the carbon flash metallic around the switch gear for the unlock and lock switches for the doors. It actually hides fingerprints very well. I also am digging the red stitching for the RS. Armrest is super soft. Everything else is flat black. If you notice in the middle section, they give you a tray for a Twinkie. One Twinkie in size right up top there. And then as we work our way down, not enough room for a quarter pounder, but definitely a Whopper with cheese and a bottle of Barks root beer to wash it down. We do have the optional Bose sound system, which is good as well. Now going from the door panel to the dash, soft touch material, love the stitching and this perforated leather. I wish they would have made this dark chrome, but it still looks like sporty and sharp. And then we get to the infotainment system. Now I know the Telluride has a larger infotainment system, but with that being said, 8-inch is plenty, and I like the way it's integrated into the center stack here. Here's my favorite part. Let's say you gotta hide your magic 8-ball, or you solved your Rubik's Cube and you need somewhere to put it. Watch this. Boom. Easily slide a Rubik's Cube in there and nobody's gonna mess with it after you solve it, and then you just hit the button. And this is lockable. You could actually get a code to lock it. You do have your navigation, obviously touchscreen all the way through. Nice clear graphics and fonts. Look how fast it swipes. Really like the way it's super easy to navigate through. You got your AC controls for the front and the rear. Come back home. How about cameras? There we are out the front with trajectory. You can spin it around any which way. You want to check out those wheels? Bling, bling. You want to go out the front, out the back. I mean, they got you covered, even if you're going to trailer. I mean, that really makes life a lot easier. And then we're right back to where we started. There we are out the back. And then you head home. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You got your start stop button all the way over to the left of the infotainment system. You do get dual climate control. And what's nice is you got these wonderful knobs. Real knobs, real buttons if you don't want to touch the screen. We do have 3 stages of heated seats. No ventilated seats is a little bit of a bummer. I am wishing that those were there. You do have 2 USB-As, an aux jack, and a 12 volt. So that's nice that they have you covered there. Wireless charging, you just drop your phone right into that area. And then this is going to control the 9-speed automatic. If you look closely, it actually says RS on the back of the shifter right there. Steven giving you a bird's eye view, the RS. We got red stitching on the shift boot. 2 cup holders, flat black means no fingerprints. And then here's your key fob. Chevrolet bow tie, Louis Chevrolet. Flip it around, you got your remote start. You could blast your red horn. And then this guy right here, this is gonna be your knob for your different modes and controls. So you got your all-wheel drive, sport, you got obviously trailering. I'll show you the rest of this when you come over the business end. It's real easy to figure out. Nice high armrest. I mean, look how nice, it's perfect. Just drive down the road like this. But anyways, the stitching, the material, open this up. This is great. Back when I was a kid, you know, you take all your little guns from your G.I. Joe guys, all the accessories, you could put them in here. And then easily, you could put, I would say, about 32 G.I. Joe figures in there. Destro, Cobra Commander, I mean, Snake Eyes, the list goes on and on and on. And then you're not gonna lose any of the accessories. And no, they're not called dolls. They're called action figures. Seats. Love the materials, love the red stitching, nice bolstering, and then you are gonna get electric assist for the passenger. I have electric assist for the driver as well. Steven was eating some cookies. He's got some cookie crumbs here. Steven's nickname is the Cookie Monster. He loves cookies. And then there's no sunroof. Let me know how you feel about that. But you do have a digital rearview mirror. And some of the best resolution you're going to find in the auto industry. I'll point that back at me. Coming over to the business end, I want to show you behind the wheel of this RS Traverse. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have your electric seat controls, easy to get to, all within fingertips reach, especially that lower lumbar. I always need that lower lumbar for my lower back. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room, and even if there was a sunroof, there'd still be room, and I wish there was a sunroof in here. Steering wheel, leather all the way around. I wish they would have done the red stitching since this is an RS, and maybe give me an RS badge. But you got those Game Boy style rubber buttons, left, right, A, B, you know how to work it. Heated steering wheel, you got your manual controls to tilt and telescope the steering wheel, and then the gauges, very clean, very analog. Analog speedometer, tach, cooling gauge, and fuel gauge, and then the center, you could scroll through a cornucopia of information on that color display. So that's a really nice touch, including battery voltage. But nice to have that information. Let me know if you were expecting full digital display. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the mid-row and see how your passengers are gonna like this Traverse. All right, guys, mid-row time. Now what's nice is for the passenger door, they get a Twinkie tray as well. So you don't have to give up your Twinkie if you're sitting in the front passenger seat or if you're the driver. You can say, hey, get your own Twinkie, get your hands off of mine. Come on in, backs of the seats, that soft material. Good size pocket. It's a little tight, but still decent depth to it. I would say you could put 4 Transformers, like the real 1980s Transformers. Megatron, Optimus Prime, Starscream, a couple of the Bumblebee. Although Bumblebee was actually smaller compared to the rest of the lineup, but those are just small details. Back of the command center, what do we got? You got your rear AC, no heated or ventilated seats, but you do have a home power source, 2 USB-As, and a large cubby area down there to where maybe you could get, I would say, 2 more Transformers down there. So that's a nice touch that they have you covered for all that. Or you could put, if you really wanted the quarter pounder, you could get the quarter pounder and put that down there. Do you know what they call the quarter pounder in France? It's called the Royale with cheese. Slip that right in there. Sitting back, chilling like a villain, feeling pretty good. I got plenty of headroom in here. I mean, I could grow another 2 feet. I think I'd still be good. Armrests. They are captain's chairs, and they get away. They get away just enough room. And I think this actual bend here actually helps with resting your arm. Still, the Ford Explorer in this segment has the best captain's chair armrests. The seats do slide, which is nice, and they recline. But why don't we go ahead? We got 3 rows. Let's get into that 3rd row and see if it's going to be a torture device back there, or are you going to be comfortable? Let's go check it out in this Traverse. All right, guys, 3rd row time, and I'm very happy to report that, first of all, they kept the actual same seat design. A lot of times on these 3rd rows, some of the brands, they just put like generic seat material back here, obviously to cut costs. They didn't do that on the Traverse. Sitting back here, it's actually not too bad. My knees, I would like just a little bit lower, but considering this is a mid-size and not a full size like the Tahoe or the Suburban, this is actually not too shabby. The great part is I got plenty of headroom, so I don't feel claustrophobic. I don't feel like I'm in a coffin, at least not yet. And we got rear AC, and we got USB-As on both sides, plus a yogurt holder and a place for some granola. You can't beat that. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area and see how this Traverse stacks up to the Telluride. All right, guys, time to get into the most important part of any SUV. It's gonna be that cargo area. Hit the button, nice electric assist. What you're gonna be greeted to is a very wide, tall opening. And what's awesome is we got the 3rd row up, and I'm very impressed with how much room there is. 23 cubic feet of space with that 3rd row up, Fold the third row down, that's gonna give you 57 cubic feet of space. Fold the mid row down, that's gonna give you 98.2 cubic feet of space. I'm very happy to say that there is a 12 volt for those campouts, for the tailgating, easy to get to. I also like the way we have this under cargo floor storage. You could easily put, I would say, 24 boxes of Twinkies, and that's no joke. Normally I like to joke about the size of things sometimes, but boy, oh boy, you could definitely fill that up with 24 boxes of Twinkies. I like the way the lid stays open. I know that sounds so simple. The one thing I do wish for, that I am gonna give a half a zonk to, is there's no drain plug. None of these are drain plugs. See, I can sit here and unscrew them, and unscrew them, and unscrew them. That's all it is. There's nothing there. So, would be nice to have a drain plug, but like I said, when it comes to space, this is really king of the mid-size group. Watch this. Put the seats down. First of all, that's what it looks like with the headrest up, headrest down. Bam! Look at that. Next one. Nice. Totally flat. That mid-row is going to fold down, and those are the USB-Cs I was telling you about that are in the third row. You see them right there? You got a nice USB for the charging in the back of the vehicle, but you know what? It's about that time. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in our Traverse. All right, guys, we're inside this 2023 Chevy Traverse RS with the all-wheel drive. Right away, the thing that I love about this midsize SUV is the amount of power. When you're comparing it to the Telluride, the Palisade, the Highlander, the CX-9, you're getting more power from that V6 underneath the hood of this Traverse. Plus, it's nice to have the all-wheel drive, and it's real easy to change the modes, which I like too. You're just gonna twist that knob that I showed you on the center console, and that allows you to go into off-road mode, tow and haul mode, two-wheel drive mode. It makes it very easy to figure out what mode you need to be in depending on what you're doing. I love the exterior changes that they made, especially to the front. And I've always have thought that the infotainment system was enough on this Traverse. I don't need a 24-inch screen with all these apps that I'm never gonna use. This one is very straightforward. It's got what you need, and the resolution of all the cameras is superb. Space in here, very spacious up front. Obviously, we showcased the cargo area and the mid-row and third row. I just wish like the top of the door panels were softer, and I'm definitely wishing that they had ventilated seats in here. But the way the 9-speed automatic behaves, very smooth shifting. There's not a ton of noise in here, which is great. And you don't have to feel like you're driving some, you know, mom mobile. I mean, this does feel sporty on the interior and the exterior, especially the color. Side mirrors work great. You got all the safety features. I think when you're comparing it to the Telluride, you really got to ask yourself, what do you want at the end of the day? All right, guys, on throttle from a dead stop, all-wheel drive, here we go. Nice light steering, nothing too heavy. And then really just gets the power to the ground. In the all-wheel drive, it really does a great job getting the power to the ground in this SUV. You'll hear the beeping. That's the emergency brake assist. It's really cool because what it does is it's not just an audible thing, but it also flashes these LED lights on the windshield like a head-up display to really give you, you know, a clear warning of watching out. It is a little on the touchy side, but I guess that's good from a safety perspective rather than not being that sensitive. But I'm gonna come to a stop again. We're gonna go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Nice smooth mode shifts from that 9-speed automatic. And you'll notice how when you're driving with the all-wheel drive, it puts the power down so great. And what I love about it is that you could easily just go ahead and put it in 2-wheel drive mode. And that's gonna help you save some fuel. But very easy to control. If you're not used to a larger SUV like this one, very easy to control. In 2-wheel drive, you are, of course, gonna lose a little bit of traction, but because it's a naturally aspirated V6, nice linear torque delivery, and I like the way it doesn't have any, fake pumped in sound or anything like that. Just the sound of the V6. Brakes feel good. Gauges are easy to read, and these seats are very comfortable. I do have to give it to Chevy. They make some great, comfortable seats in their vehicles. But once again, on throttle, here we go. Getting onto the highway, that's another thing that this Traverse does very well, is that it's very comfortable and smooth. And even though you got the 20-inch wheels, you're not getting a bunch of road noise. You're not even really getting that much wind noise, to be honest with you. And having the technology of the digital rearview mirror, it's an extra nice touch. And GM really was the first to bring that to market. Not too much in the way of blind spots, especially with the digital rearview mirror and the good size side mirrors as well. But hopefully this has been a nice overall feel and review of what the Traverse is bringing for 2023, especially the RS trim. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a great day with this Chevrolet. Definitely want to thank Cody and the rest of the team over at Chevrolet for getting us access to this 2023 Traverse RS. Let me know what you think. Has Chevy done enough with the updates on this Traverse to make this the better 3-row SUV that you want to buy over the Kia Telluride? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. Speaking of the Radies Rides family, we got to thank Steven Flood Photography, doing the business with the camera. Show him some love in that comment section. Thank you, Steven, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.